Hi everybody, this is C. Crawford writing, and I am here with my Tuesday tip. So today's tip is to seek feedback. I know I've mentioned this before in videos and also in some of my posts, but today I just want to explain the importance of seeking feedback as a writer. There are a lot of ways to go about doing this. You can recruit a group of beta readers, people you trust to give you honest and accurate feedback. You can put your writing up somewhere publicly, like I have some of my stuff on Wattpad. Each of the methods of seeking feedback has its benefits and its downsides. One of the downsides of Wattpad or a forum like that is that it really puts your work out there publicly. So then later, if you plan to publish it or to do something else with it, it's not impossible. In fact, sometimes it's actually a great step in that direction. However, you just need to be aware that because your writing has already been out there in some format, the version that you later publish is going to need to be polished and edited and something extra beyond what you've put out. Also, the beta readers. Beta readers are an excellent way to get feedback, but to really get accurate feedback from beta readers, you really need to have your work edited and polished first. That way, when you send it to them, they're not stuck on all of these grammar errors or anything like that. They can actually read your story and give you accurate feedback. Also, beta readers need to be a very carefully selected group because it's not really helpful to have friends who are just going to tell you all your work is amazing as your beta readers, because what you're needing is accurate, honest feedback. So you need those friends who are brave enough to tell you when something's not working and who have enough knowledge about writing and reading and the genre that you're writing in to be able to articulate why it's not working. To say something like, hey, this one scene where the character confronted the antagonist really just kind of didn't work for me. It kind of felt anticlimactic. They don't have to use those terms, but they need to be able to explain to you where and why the story fell flat for them. So basically, what I want to encourage you to do is to just find some form of feedback for your writing. And here's why. When you are writing a story, the majority of the work is happening inside your mind. So it's really kind of hard to step outside of that and to see your own work accurately. Not because you're not capable, but because you're just too close to it. It's like trying to see a piece of art with your face pressed right up against it. Okay, you're going to be able to only see what's right here. You're not going to get an idea of the big picture. And also, you're so close to it that even if you could step back and give yourself some distance from it, like sometimes I like to let my work get cold, as I say, and I put it away for a while and then come back to it. Even if you do that and you're able to get some distance and see it kind of with fresh eyes, you're still seeing it with your own eyes. So there may be things that you think make perfect sense that aren't going to make sense to a reader, or there might be knowledge that you have that you assume is just common knowledge that a reader is going to be really confused by because the explanation for that wasn't included. I had a professor in college who, for calculus, brilliant guy, but he would skip steps when he explained the problems on the board. So to him, it made perfect sense, right? Because in his mind, it was like so easy and it was jumping from one thing to the next almost seamlessly. But for the rest of us, we were watching like, how did he get from here to there? It made no sense to us. And so then people would have to stop him and say, wait, how did you get from there to there? And it was almost like he didn't realize that it wasn't connecting for us, because for him, it just made total sense. It was like a natural outcome. That's the danger that you run if you don't get feedback, is that what seems like it makes perfect sense to you as the writer really is not making so much sense to your readers. If you can get some honest, accurate feedback from readers, then you can have an idea of where that might be happening and figure out how to fix it. So really, for me, the best thing has been a combination of a readership and a more exclusive group of beta readers. So my beta readers are my people who read my stuff before it ever goes out to the public. Especially if there's something that I'm publishing in a different format, like an ebook or something that needs to be more polished. And they give me input and feedback on the story before I ever put it out there. Wattpad I use sort of as a modified beta readership. I do edit some of my stuff before I put it on Wattpad, but it's still sort of in a rough draft format, meaning I haven't sent it off to beta readers. I haven't gotten feedback for the most part. There's maybe a chapter or two that I did. And so I put it out there to readers and I see how it plays. Now, the readers sometimes give me incredible feedback. So from some of the Wattpad readers, I've actually gotten ideas for additional chapters or new stories, or they answered questions for me or raised questions that I hadn't even thought about and then I had to come up with answers to. So what happened for me with my I'm Not a Stalker story on Wattpad was that readers got really into the original version and they started asking questions that actually spurred me to write some spin-offs and some bonus chapters that I initially had never planned on writing. But then as I wrote those, I really got a better grasp of the characters. So now I'm preparing to go back and edit the whole storyline, the whole series of stories, the whole lineup, and produce a more polished, like modified and improved version of the story because of their feedback, their amazing feedback. And I really do appreciate my Wattpad readers so much. So whenever I do release the series as an ebook, I'm going to have some special, I'm going to do something special for them because I want to show my appreciation that they were part of this process for me of getting the book to this point. But anyway, as a writer, feedback is really, really important. So if you don't have a group of people who can work as your feedback group, then I would suggest that you find some. Think of friends or family who like reading, people who might be interested in the type of stuff that you write. Just because someone is a family member does not make them a good candidate for your feedback group. I'm just going to throw that out there. My husband actually doesn't like reading, so even though he has amazing ideas and I talk through ideas with him, I'm not going to use him as a beta reader because he would hate it, and then it would also take him a really, really, really long time to actually read through it and get back to me because he has so many other things to do. So he's just not a good candidate for being a beta reader for me. But I do have some friends who are, and I have coworkers who are, and I have people I went to college with who are. So those are my people that I choose very carefully. The other thing with a beta reader is that a lot of times what you're going to send to your beta reader is going to be something that hasn't been released to the public yet when I'm talking about a smaller group of beta readers. So you really need people that you trust not to leak your work or to share your work somewhere else if you've asked them not to. So that is another factor. For me, having my work up on Wattpad, yeah, it's a risk because the work is up there for free and, you know, someone could take it. It's marked with a copyright. Doesn't mean someone wouldn't take it. But I guess I'm just kind of trusting the community of people there, and really the benefit has been so amazing for me in terms of meeting readers and getting their feedback and getting their ideas. And I love my readers, so I often will take an idea and run with it. I've included some of my readers' suggestions in future chapters. I really like the collaboration and the ability to communicate back and forth with them, like immediately, not having to put the book out and wait for reviews, but to be able to get feedback so quickly. Wattpad is really amazing for that. And Wattpad's not the only forum, but it's the one that I prefer for that. So anyway, feedback is really, really important. Find yourself a good feedback group. Find yourself some beta readers. If you have any questions on this topic, you can post below or message me. Also, I have some posts on my blog related to this about the importance of finding an editor, which I didn't really talk about today, but is related to this, and the importance of some feedback groups and having some sort of critique for your writing. So you can check those out on my blog as well. Thank you guys. Happy Tuesday.